Hello and welcome everybody. I hope you enjoyed all of those 15 days videos recapping all of your favorite sumo wrestlers, because today, now that we've seen all of their action, we are going to take a look at playing the Banzuke guessing game. Unfortunately, I forgot to play last time, but I still, after calculating it, was 41 points, which is not bad. But this time, I will definitely remember to submit, because now for the next year, my score is going to be a little screwy in that overall ranking thing, because I think it's like the Kachi Clash, in that it only takes the last year that you've done it. But anyway, yes, we are here. And we are going to be playing Guess the Banzuke. Be sure to let me know what you think about my guesses. Who do you think is going to be moving up, moving down? And, well, do you think there's going to be this many Komusubi slots open? And that's really going to be the hard part here, is guessing what's going to be happening in the Sanyaku. Because right now, things are pretty obvious with a lot of these ranks. We're going to have Teruno Fuji stay the same. Taka Keisho is going to stay the same. But then after that, there's a lot of questions that we can be asked. First, we're going to color code all of these guys based on winning versus losing records. So Takeda Fuji, Azumaryu, Ichi Yamamoto, Koto Shoho. Another big question is going to be who gets promoted and who gets demoted out of this top division. That's going to be another interesting thing to see at the very bottom of the Banzuke. And usually that's kind of how it goes. The top of the Banzuke is very interesting. The bottom of the Banzuke is not what you would expect it to be. And, well, let's just call these guys green for winning, and then the rest of them are going to be red for losing. Takeyumi, unfortunate for me, Takeyumi. Oopsies. Accidentally clicked on a link. Because this program is a little annoying. Okinoumi is also retiring, so that opens up a slot. He will no longer be anywhere on the Banzuke. But now that we have everyone color coded, let's see how they would move up and down. Well, at the last tournament, I thought we were going to have Hoshoryu leapfrog Wakataka Kage because of his massive winning record. That didn't happen, so we know Wakataka and Hoshoryu are going to stay the same. Now, this next part is going to be interesting and maybe a controversial call, because Koto no Waka and Wakamoto Haru, with their winning records of 8 and 7 and 9 and 6 respectively, realistically could become, like, one of these guys could become a Sekiwake. But because there doesn't seem to be much else going on, I think what's going to happen here is we're going to have Kiribayama at Sekiwake 2, and then we're going to have Koto no Waka and Wakamoto Haru move up to that Komusubi 1 spot. And then Daisho with that 10 and 5 from Maegashira 1 will move up to Komusubi 2 as well. Now, I don't know if these are going to be the exact sides that it happens, because with these Banzuke, I know that it does get a little tricky in how they show themselves. Like, sometimes they do have the one side but not the other. And, well, I guess you could have 2 Komusubi down here. And, we've seen Daisho get screwed over in the past by not getting that promotion, even with the 10 and 5. Because as it stands, we have Teruno Fuji and Kiribayama on either side of the Banzuke, kind of. Well, actually, we also have Taka Keisho here too. So if there is only one Sekiwake promotion in Kiribayama, which I think is going to be most likely, we're going to need to see a Komusubi 2 and only one Komusubi 2. Realistically, I think it would be Daisho leapfrogging Tobizaru. In another universe, we could see something like Koto no Waka scooch up Wakamoto Haru at Komusubi 1, Daisho next to him, and then Tobizaru move up. It's really, really interesting. Like something like this happening. Wakamoto Haru, Daisho, and then we have maybe these Komusubi ranks are just closed off, because Takayasu and Shodai, their losing records are too big to really justify only dropping them to Komusubi. And then Tobizaru, his winning record really isn't enough to put him at Komusubi as well. Like we've seen it before. 8 and 7s have not. Well, why am I lagging so bad? 8 and 7s have not been enough to really put someone up from Maegashira 1 into Komusubi when there's a traffic jam like that. And we can take a quick look at this. So we have an 8 and 7 from Maegashira 1. How often do they stay at Maegashira 1? And we've had it happen very recently with Wakataka Kage. He only moved up from west to east. Okino Umi from west to east back in 2011, and then Homasho before that. So it doesn't happen too often. So let's take a look at how many times they do make it to Komusubi, not counting the Haridashi, of course, because that's been phased out of existence. But we do have things like Daisho in March. Just happened Kiribayama getting up to Komusubi 2. So again, I don't think they keep Komusubi 2 open, but if they do have some good promotions they can make, some very solid promotions that would fill out those ranks. And I think if they do that, it would be something like Tobizaru and Tamawashi to fill up those Komusubi slots. Now, I don't think this is going to happen because Kotonowaka's 8 and 7 from Komusubi 1 West is not going to be enough to put him at Sekiwake. Wakamoto Haru's 9 and 6 from Komusubi 2 West is not going to be enough to put him at Sekiwake, I don't think. Kiribayama, though, he has an 11 and 4 Jun Yusho from Komusubi. He's going to be put up to Sekiwake. So I think what's going to happen here, if we can undo a little bit of what I just did, we're going to see something like this. Kiribayama, Kotonowaka, Wakamoto Haru, Daisho, underneath Wakataka and Hoshoryu. And then, again, it doesn't happen. Actually, I don't think it has happened at all where someone stays Maegashira 1 East. But I feel like Tobizaru's 8 and 7 isn't good enough to put him back at Komusubi. And I'm saying this as, a Tobizaru stan. I don't think it's going to be good enough. Daisho definitely leapfrogs. And technically, with the removal of one of the Sekiwake and one of the Komusubi ranks, Tobizaru does move up in those rankings. That's something we discussed at the previous Guess the Banzuke, where they got rid of the Maegashira 17 rank, but other people moving down, other people moving up, that kind of thing. That's what made the Banzuke a little difficult. I think because of the way Takayasu and Shodai lose, Meisei loses, and because Tobizaru and Tamawashi's winning records aren't strong enough, because Kotonowaka's winning record isn't strong enough, I think this is what the Sanyaku looks like. And so there is this situation where both sides of the Sanyaku are even. It looks pretty on paper. And then we'll still have, I think we'll actually have a Maegashira 17 open up if that's the case. But that gets into uncharted, complicated territory. I do want to go back just a little bit in recent memory to see. Here we go. Here's a good example right here. We had 3 Ozeki and a Yokozuna, so 4 on each side. We had 3 Sekiwake and then 3 Komusubi. So it could even be something like this. Kiribayama over here, Daisho at Komusubi 2. I feel like that could also happen here, because Kiribayama had a very strong 11 and 4 record. Now, after this, we see Abi fall, Tobizaru move up, Ichinojo falls. It's kind of a similar situation where we have a bunch of people falling and losing. And then in this next Banzuke, we have, the 2 Ozeki, we have 3 Sekiwake, but 1 is on this right side for Teruno Fuji, so they even out, and then 4 Komusubi. Now, what happened here that we went from 3 to 4 Komusubi? Well, Tobizaru moved up, Tamawashi had a 13 and 2, and that's why we see Tamawashi and Tobizaru move up into here. Midori Fuji, Meisei, Kotonowaka, they all had 8 and 7s, so they're only going to move up to those Maegashira 1 ranks, you know, right next to that Takayasu too. I want to see if we can keep going back though to any other unusual ranks like that, but it looks like within the past year it's been pretty clean cut. You know, we had our very solid, you know, 3 ranks: Ozeki, Sekiwake, Komusubi, Tener no Fuji, Yokozuna, and then, am I counting this right? 1, 2, 3 plus 20. It's only 41 spots on this Banzuke. Am I reading that right? Let's keep going back a little bit. Here's another example when Asanayama got demoted. We had those 2 Yokozuna, Asanayama demoted. Let's see. Again, this is not something that happens too often, and this is something that we kind of do need to take a little bit of time thinking about. Here we have, you know, the 2 Yokozuna, Hakuho Kakuryu, 3 Ozeki, 3 Komusubi, 2 Sekiwake. That way the Banzuke is even on both sides. And then from there, you know, what happened to make this Banzuke happen? Well, Daisho had that 13-2 Yusho that pushed him up into that Komusubi spot. And that was a lot of people saying Daisho got screwed. He should have been, you know, pushed up to Sekiwake at least with that 13-2. But that's kind of the way it happens. And that kind of shows what happens when there's a traffic jam at the top, which is why I think it's justified Tobizaru stays at Maegashira 1 here. Because again, we have to remember these 2 slots opening up technically mean, you know, they could be filled, but they need to be filled by worthy records. Kotono Waka's 8-7, Wakamoto Haru's 9-6. Those aren't strong enough to push them up into that next rank, because we already have Wakataka, Hoshoryu, and now Kiribayama scooching up there as well. We also have to remember that technically their number rank, if you just count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Tobizaru would be number 9, whereas at this Banzuke, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, he's technically moving up 2 spots in that ranking just by keeping him where he is. So I feel that's the reason why I feel like this is going to be okay. You put Tobizaru here, Tamawashi here, and now we could start talking about where these possible losers go. So Takayasu 1, 5, and 9. He's going to be going down roughly 14 spots. So let's just put him like somewhere down here. He's not actually going to be going down 14 spots. Shodai could probably fit in right around here, but we're just going to move people based on how big and their winning and losing records are, because we needed to fill out these puzzle pieces. It's like filling in the edges of a puzzle. Yeah, Barry, you got to shake while I'm recording a video. Rude. It's like filling in the edges of a puzzle where you need to get those edges so you can start building in. We needed to fill in this top so we could start filling in the rest of the bottom. Mitakeyumi might only fall 1 rank, or it might stay the same. You don't know. We already filled up Tamawashi, Daisho, Tobizaru. Abi could move up. Midori Fuji will probably move down 2 or 3 ranks. Nishiki Fuji down 7 technically, but we'll just put him right there. Sarano Umi down like 3. Ryuden gonna be moving up as well. Could fill in this Maegashira 2 slot, but I think they're gonna give it to Shodai. Nishikigi, same thing. And now we have a little bit of a traffic jam up here. Let's see, who else are we going to have? Hokuto Fuji might move down, might stay the same. I'll keep him at that spot for now. Myogiryu probably going to move down. Ichinojo with that 0 and 15. We have to see how many times this has happened. A 0 wins from Maegashira 7, like 99.99% chance gets demoted out of the top division, right? So 0 wins from Maegashira 7. Let's see. Takayasu. Oh, that was COVID. Homasho, Juryo. Wakanosato, Juryo. Kaiho, Juryo. Okay, so we know he's going to Juryo. I wonder what happened here in 2003 with Tokitsumi. Because they didn't have COVID back then. Or here. Huh. What is going on in these Banzuke that they are 0 and 15? Oh, did they have that that rule where you could take a Basho off to recover from injury? Because if so, that's pretty cool. But yes, Ichinojo is going to be a Juryo Demotee. And that's going to open up a slot. Uda, once again, could stay the same. We're going to keep him right there for now. Onosho, going to move up 4 or 5 slots. Now we can see the traffic jam forming. Oho, 4 and 11 from Maegashira 8, might be on the cusp. Takanosho, unfortunate bad record, going to be moving down. Endo, going to be moving slightly up. Aoyama, going to be moving slightly up. Hirado Umi, the same thing. Chiyoshoma, going to be moving, you know, again, maybe by the skin of his teeth. Tochinoshin out for injury. Kageaki might stay the same. Okino Umi is retired, so he's not here anymore. Koto Shoho up 7 spots, so probably somewhere up here. Koto Eiko, probably going to stay the same. Ichi Yamamoto up 5 to around here. Azumaru up 3, also to around there. Tsurugisho, probably going to stay the same. Mitoryu, probably going to stay the same. Takara Fuji, going to move up. So, now that we kind of have these puzzle pieces laid out, we can try to take a look at where we're going to be putting them within this thing we have going here. And it's tough to say, because we also have to consider Juryo promotions. And because we have, you know, 3 people going down, losing. Oh, Chiyomaru also going back down. Easily. I almost forgot him. So we have 4 spots opening up. And that means we have maybe 4 people getting promoted. These 4 look like they're going to be the most likely. The ones that I'm going to color in blue right now. Oops, that's their text. These 4 that I'm going to color in blue right now, these guys are the most likely to get promoted. The question is, how high will they be promoted? Because with these guys with 7 and 8 records near the bottom, like 99% are going to stay the same rank. These 7 and 8, you could move them down. And I feel like that might work, but then Chiyoshoma and Oho, big question marks. So let's try to take this from the top. Now, Mitakeyumi with a 7 and 8. The only people that could really push him out might be Abi with that 8 and 7, but we could scooch him over, like do something like this, where Abi just leapfrogs and Mitakeyumi, who moves down half of her rank. But now Shodai needs to scooch in as well. Shodai with a 6 and 9 from Sekiwake. We can actually take a look at that. So Sekiwake, 6 and 9. What's like the maximum limit that they go down? And only once did they move down to Komusubi 2, but a lot of the times it's Maegashira 1 or 2. Let's see, like the max they go down, maybe Maegashira 3. Last time that happened was Teru Nobori in 1944. Mitakeyumi down from Sekiwake 1 to Maegashira 2. But again, we have the problem here where we have a traffic jam. And this traffic jam really sucks because we need to put these guys somewhere. We need to put the guys with winning records high, and we need to make sure the guys with losing records don't get over demoted. And right now we have basically 6 people that could occupy these 4 slots. To break precedent in Shodai's case, you know, would have hurt, but I feel like, again, you also have to consider the actual number rank. Shodai would usually fall to like Maegashira 1 here, but again, Tobizaru needs to stay in that rank. Tamawashi occupies that rank. And those 2 ranks I am keeping out of Komusubi and Sekiwake right now. So even if he were to fall to Maegashira 3, it would still probably be the same as, you know, one of these classic guys falling to Maegashira 2 or 1. Because he would technically still be the same spot in the straight up numbers up and down the Banzuke. So now we have to ask, does someone like Onosho get snubbed? I feel like that could happen. I feel like Onosho could easily just fall to Maegashira 4. Ryuden or Nishikigi, They had 9 and 6 from Maegashira 5. Let's see how often a 9 and 6 will put them to something like Maegashira 4 instead. So Maegashira 5, 9 and 6. And let's see. The highest they'll go is Sekiwake. That was Kitano Fuji in 64. A lot of the times they'll go to Maegashira 1 or 2. Very, very rarely do they only ever stop at Maegashira 3 and 4. So, actually, the last time that happened was Nishiki Fuji in the actual last Basho. So, we do kind of have a precedent here. Also happened with Sara no Umi very recently as well. So, it is likely that we could see something like Ryuden here, Nishikigi here, Onosho. Probably doesn't leapfrog Shodai because they don't want to hurt Shodai too much. Or maybe even something like this where Mitake Umi falls down a full rank and Shodai occupies Maegashira 2. I think this is a lot cleaner. Like this right here, very clean. Nishikigi and Ryuden only move up one rank with their 9 and 6s is unfortunate. But again, consider the number ranks. Ryuden was sitting at Maegashira 5 under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So he was ranked 19th on this Banzuke. Now he's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So he does move up 4 spots number-wise. He only moves up 1 rank-wise. So that's the little thing you have to consider as well. On this piece of paper, it doesn't look that good, but technically, he will be fighting the Ozeki Takakeisho next tournament. You know, like he's gonna be fighting that Joy. He's gonna be fighting up, and it's gonna suck for him. Nishikigi, the same thing. He's right next to him. Now, this is where things you could debate. A lot of debate can be happening here from Maegashira 5 downwards. Like, we could still argue the technicalities of where Abi, Shodai, Mitake Umi, and Onosho will fall, but I feel like this is a very comfortable spot because it doesn't over-demote Shodai. It doesn't over-demote Mitake Umi, and it doesn't under-promote Onosho, who had that 10 and 5 from Maegashira 8. If anything, you could argue Ryuden and Nishikigi will move up even 1 more rank. So something like this, where they actually split the 2 of them. And then Onosho falls in right behind. So that's a question we can ask. Onosho over Ryuden, Nishikigi, or no? Like, does Onosho leapfrog the both of them, despite the fact that he had a 10 and 5 from 3 ranks lower? Most likely not. I feel like they wouldn't give that to him because, you know, technically 10 and 5 is a +5. But again, you have to measure out everyone else falling up and down the Banzuke. Ryuden and Nishikigi deserve those spots more. They definitely do. Now, this next part, we have Midori Fuji and Koto Shoho seem to be the only 2 that could occupy these spots. Koto Shoho with a +7 from Maegashira 13. Let's actually take a look at Maegashira 13, 11 wins. So what happens here? That doesn't happen too often. Last time it happened was Aoyama in that March 2020, where there was no crowd. Very, very interesting Basho that was. But, you know, with Onosho up to Maegashira 6, Aoyama up to Maegashira 4, upper limit seems to, well, Maegashira 1 and 76, but the upper limit seems to be Maegashira 2, maybe Maegashira 3. So I feel like putting Koto Shoho at Maegashira 5, that's very, very appropriate. And again, when you consider everyone else around them, that seems like the right call. Now we have Midori Fuji again. 6 and 9 from Maegashira 3. He slots right in at Maegashira 5 perfectly. He just falls 2 ranks. Okay, cool. That the math checks out. Then we have someone like Hokuto Fuji, 7 and 6 from Maegashira 6. And we have Endo moving up 3 spots to Maegashira 6. Seems very fair. Seems very appropriate. Sara no Umi, Ura, Myogiryu, and then someone like Takeyasu. Oh, my render is done. And then someone like Takeyasu. So Takayasu being injured, 1, 5, and 9. We have to take a look at what happens to Sekiwakes when they have 1 win. How far do they usually fall? And I do appreciate that we're getting, because I'm only listing wins and not the losses as well. We're getting stuff from way back in the day. But this obviously doesn't happen very often. We have a lot of results where, we don't know what happens. Koto Oshu, looks like Koto Oshu might have retired here. I'm not sure. But there wasn't another one after that. So we have a couple of guys who retired, a couple of guys from the 1700s. Now what happens to the guys? Well, the guys that apparently move up with these 1-0-6 to 1-0-4 Ozeki. What the hell? Let's talk about these real records down here, because it does include. Maybe I should include the year. But falling generally to. Geez, this really doesn't happen that often, does it? Mito Izumi falling to Maegashira 10. Tochi Akagi falling to Maegashira 8, Maegashira 7. So we can look at Takayasu. Maegashira 8, 7, 10 could fit in any one of those spots. Let's take a look at Sarano Umi 6 and 9 from Maegashira 4. Could easily fall right here. Ura could easily stay the same rank. Takayasu could easily stay right there. Myogiryu easily falls 2 ranks. That seems fair. Now, this is where things get interesting again, because we also have Nishiki Fuji could be in this conversation as well. Nishiki Fuji, 4 wins from Maegashira 4. Let's see what happens there. Please tell me that has happened a lot more often. 4 wins from Maegashira 4. Okay, let's actually include the losses as well. 4 wins from Maegashira 4 doesn't happen infrequently. Usually they'll fall to, let's see, within the past 20 years at least, Maegashira 10, 9, 10, 8, 11, 7. So anywhere within this range, Nishiki Fuji could realistically fall. And it's getting to this point where now we have a bunch of winners. We have to decide where we're going to put this loser in Nishiki Fuji. And the thing about a lot of these winners is that they don't have big winning records. Aoyama 8 and 7, Hirado Umi 8 and 7, Ichi Yamamoto a 10 and 5 from Maegashira 14, Azumariu a 9 and 6 from Maegashira 14. So we could very easily slot Nishiki Fuji above some of these winners. Someone like Hirado Umi and Aoyama, I feel like would be above him because they do need to move up a rank. Again, they would be technically 2 more number ranks higher as well. But Nishiki Fuji, I think, does fall to somewhere like down here. Ichi Yamamoto with his 10 wins most likely comes to Maegashira 10. Azumariu can sit very comfortably here at Maegashira 11. Right next to Takanosho, who his losing record does pull him down from Maegashira 9 to Maegashira 11. Again, the math just seems to fall into place when we do something like this. And of course, not all these rules are, solid. Now we have someone like Kageaki Kotoeko sitting in these spots, and this is where, once again, things can get interesting, because now we have to consider the Juryo promotions. Takada Fuji with an 8 and 7 from Maegashira 16. It doesn't seem like he would get promoted to Maegashira 12, but I feel like that's the best spot to put him, because someone like Kageaki, someone like Kotoeko, Tsurugisho Mitoryu, with their 7 and 8s, they could fall, but there's nowhere for them to fall without it not making sense, because we have to make room for Chiyoshoma and Oho at the bottom here. And I feel like Chiyoshoma and Oho will stay at this bottom. Actually, Oho could realistically be bumped up to something like Maegashira 13 even. And I feel like that could fit with something like Tohakuryu getting promoted to that last Maegashira 16 slot. So let's take a look at Maegashira 8, 4, and 11. Let's see how often that happens. And please, Banzuke, don't be down. It's going to be down. It's going down. Baby, are you down, 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 down? Yes, you are, because you're not loading. Ah! All right. Well, again, realistically, 4 and 7 or 4 and 11 is supposed to be a -7 from Maegashira 8. So that would put him down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Around Maegashira 15. Maegashira 16 seems to be a little bit too big of a boot. Takara Fuji, on the other hand, could easily, it's Maegashira 16. There's a lot of churn. 8 and 7. You can go up to Maegashira 10 or you can go up to Maegashira 15. We've seen it both ways. And even though the Banzuke is not loading right now, that's something we have seen plenty of times in the past. If I pull up 8 and 7 from Maegashira 16, I'm sure you could see single-digit ranks somewhere in that as well. But the point is, we need this to kind of fall in easily on itself so that in a way that it makes sense. So again, 4 and 11 from Maegashira 8, falling 1, 2, 3, 4 ranks seems a little easy. Falling 4.5, technically, 5 down here. Seems nice. Is this an over promotion for Takara Fuji? I don't think so. I don't think it would be. Because, and I wish I could bring it up right now, but legit, in this half-hour video, the database went down and now it's back up. Maegashira 8, 4, and 11. And it doesn't happen very often. A lot of the times to Maegashira 13, 14, 16, even sometimes to Juryo. But Maegashira 13 and 14 seem to be healthy spots. Now, let's double check this with Takara Fuji's score. Takara Fuji, Maegashira 16 with an 8 and 7. Guarantee we're going to see some single digits. There they are, 9 and 8. Sure, hasn't happened since 2011. But even Aoyama Maegashira 10 back in 2022, that was last year, a big jump like this happened. And again, swath of 12s, 13s, 14s. There's another whole page of 14s and 15s. So Takara Fuji going to Maegashira 12 on an 8 and 7 from Maegashira 16 is definitely normal. It's definitely within reason. And now we could talk about these spots being filled in right down here. Maegashira 14. Chiyoshoma, 5 and 10 from Maegashira 11. Again, you could even argue he'll only fall to Maegashira 14. Let's just double check that. That is Maegashira 11, 5, and 10. And let's see. 13, 14, a lot of 14s and 15s. Some 16s, some 17s, and then even some trips to Juryo. A lot of trips to Juryo. But median seems to be 15, 16. I think we can keep Chiyoshoma at 16 because it will make sense to promote in the way I will present right now. Busho's on. Hokuseiho. Kinbo's on. And now I think I am miscounting here because I should have 4 slots open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. We're supposed to have 2 more. We only have 40 people in this top division. We're supposed to have 42. This is where the fun begins. Oh boy, oh boy. Now, realistically, Tohakuryu could be promoted. Wait. Yeah, realistically, Tohakuryu could be promoted with that, 9 and 6 from Juryo 4. But now the question is, who occupies this Maegashira 17 slot? Can't be Chiyomaru. Can't be Tochinoshin. Would it be Ichinojo? Would it be Ichinojo? Oh, these records, baby. These records do not help. Sources say no, because the last time someone survived a Maegashira 17 was Kozuzan. 1952. So am I missing something? Do I accidentally have two names here? Did I list someone twice? There's supposed to be 42 people in the top division. And in opening up the Sekiwake and Komusubi 2 slots, we are supposed to have Maegashira 17. And we can count 1, 2, yeah. So 16 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 21 times 2, 42. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 16 times 2, that's 40. So now we have something like Tohakuryu. Do we see Ichinojo survive at Maegashira 17? Or does someone like Chiyono Kuni come back? Is that too far away for promotion? Oh wait, no, we have Daishoho. Never mind. Daishoho easily slots in there. Never mind. Daishoho, come on down. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I do my math wrong again? With 3 people being demoted. In Chiyomaru, Tochinoshin, Ichinojo, and Okinoumi. What did I do wrong here? Hold on. the fun of playing the Guess the Banzuke game. Hold on. What did I do here? Am I missing someone? We have Terunofuji, Takakeisho, Wakataka, Hoshoryu, Kiribayama, Kotonowaka, Wakamoto Haru, Meisei. Where's Meisei? Oh, oh no, I forgot Meisei. Oh, it always happens, doesn't it? It always happens. It always happens this way, doesn't it? Ain't that just the way? Oh boy, now I have to throw a monkey wrench somewhere into here, which it probably shouldn't be that hard. It probably won't be that hard, but let's just take a quick look at a 5 and 10 from Komusubi. 5 and 10 from Komusubi will usually fall somewhere around, I'm seeing a lot of 2s and 3s and 4s. 3 to 4 seems to be where they would fall. So now, now the question is, does Meisei fall beneath Ryuden Nishikigi Onosho Kotoshoho to Maegashira 5, which has happened before. Last time it happened was 2014 with Chio Otori. Okay, so now we can start scooching some guys over at the bottom here. Oops. There. Tsurugisho and Mitoryu will stay where they're supposed to be. Easily as Hokuseiho, just fill in that slot. Busho's on over here. Oho can stay where he is. Kotoeko could fall a half of a rank. Takara Fuji could actually go to Maegashira 14 instead. We could have something like that happen just to fill in some of these slots. Man, I wish I could just hit undo on everything. Or maybe I can go back into my video to see where I was at the point where... Why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling, Bear? He's growling at me. He's bored. I'm not entertaining enough for him. All right, but now we can kind of slot in Meisei and see where he might fall. So, without going back in my own video, I don't know if I can actually hit the undo button enough times to the point where everything right up here would still be scattered. This is like the 5th or 6th time this has happened to me too, where I've forgotten someone. But realistically, Meisei should be falling within Maegashira 3 to Maegashira 5. Onosho. could realistically move up to Maegashira 5, and that would be fine. Koto Shoho, the same thing. Midori Fuji, 6 and 9 to Maegashira 6. Hokuto Fuji. Endo. Okay, I think I can see how I want to do this. Basically, just scooch everyone down like a half of a rank. Except for some of these guys that have 7 and 8s. Sarano Umi. Sarano Umi to Maegashira 8 might be a little much, though. That's the trouble. That's the trouble I have given myself here. So let's go from the bottom and kind of keep scooching people around. Azumariu with a 9 and 6 could fall here. Takanosho is fine where he is. Nishiki Fuji. He had a... Oops, sorry. Nishiki Fuji had a 4 and 11 from Maegashira 4. I don't want to put him any lower than he actually is. Ichi Yamamoto with 5. I think he has to be there. Takanosho could move over, but that slot being open really doesn't do much for me. Unless I want to really put Takayasu all the way down there and then scooch everyone down. Which actually might not be a horrid idea. Let's go back to that Takayasu thing. So he was Sekiwake 1 and 14. Okay. Hasn't happened before. Sekiwake 1 win. Maegashira 10 seems to be the upper limit. 1, 12, and 2. 1, 5, and 9. 1, 3, and 11. So where we have Takayasu now seems to be the limit on how far I would throw him down. So we might have to under-promote some of these 8 and 7s. So someone like, let's see, Takanosho, he's fine where he is. Ichi Yamamoto, I think he needs to stay where he is. Nishiki Fuji, I don't want to put him any lower than he already is. Hirado Umi, Aoyama. This is the trouble. I mean, it wouldn't be unusual to have one person get screwed on a Banzuke. Hirado Umi only going up a half of a rank. Aoyama going up half of a rank with 8 and 7s. That's not completely unreasonable. I'll say that much. Myogiryu could fall another half a rank. Takayasu another half a rank. Uda doesn't have to stay the same. Uda could fall. Sarano Umi? I don't think Sarano Umi would leapfrog Uda. I think Uda could fall a half of a rank just so we could fill this out. Endo 9 and 6. He doesn't have to stay on the same side of the Banzuke. Hokuto Fuji could fall a half of a rank, or maybe even Meisei gets put right here at Maegashira 6, but that might be too harsh for him too. Maegashira 5, like I said, seems to be the upper limit. Midori Fuji could fall 2.5 ranks. Koto Shoho right over here. There. And I feel like this is fine. It was a little annoying. It always kind of throws in a monkey wrench when you forget someone like that. But for the most part, I feel like this is still very fair, because even a lot of the guys that I moved down a half of a rank to accommodate, Ichi Yamamoto with a 10 and 5 from Maegashira 14, that's fine, because he is going to be below a lot of these guys that had losing record, not very bad losing records from the top of the Banzuke. And then Aoyama, Hirado Umi, 8 and 7s from Maegashira 10. Like, sure, it's going to be really annoying to only go up half of a rank, but again, there's that traffic jam in front of them of all of these guys that, you know, had these better records. Then we have, you know, again, like these losers that were 7 and 8 that I thought were going to stay at the same rank. It's okay that they fall a half of a rank. I mean, hell, Hokuto Fuji could even fall a full rank and Endo could leapfrog him. Will that happen? I don't think so. Sarano Umi, 6 and 9 from Maegashira 4, falling those full 3 ranks. Again, like Hokuto, I could move Hokuto Fuji to Maegashira 7 and Sarano Umi to Maegashira 6, and I feel like that would be perfectly fine, you know? These little flip-flops here, like it's close enough margins that at that point it's just whatever the hell the Banzuke guys are feeling that day. It's like, oh, I don't know, I need to get out of this meeting as fast as possible. I had some beans and I don't really care, so just put Sado no Umi here. Let's go. Come on. But as for the rest of it, I feel like it fits. Meisei falls 5 full ranks, which is a little harsh. And I mean, we can see it again. Komusubi with a 5 and 10 record. I mean, we see something as far as Maegashira 8. Maegashira 5 does seem to be, you know, Maegashira 4, 2, 5. 5 is a little far, but these, you have to consider a lot of these are Komusubi 1s as well, and probably coming at times where there wasn't that Komusubi 2 slot. And again, we have to consider that number rank. Meisei may be falling from Komusubi 2 to Maegashira 5, but 2 ranks above him opened up, so he's only really falling, like, if it were to have stayed the same to Maegashira 4. You know what I'm saying? So this is still all relatively well and good. Because again, Aoyama moving up half of a rank on the Banzuke, but he's actually moving up like 3 because of those spots above him that are open, and these Maegashira 17 slots that have now opened. So even though some of these promotions and demotions might not seem a lot, it's also the numbers that they are. And that's the one annoying thing about the way the Banzuke is ranked, isn't it now? But yeah, I think this is going to be our final say. There wasn't too much else that I was really thinking about debating over. Really, it's just the will Onosho leapfrog Ryuden and Nishikigi, which I don't think he will, because again, at 10 and 5 from Maegashira 8, he collapsed near the end of the Basho. Ryuden and Nishikigi with their 9 and 6s, you know, they deserve their promotion. Shodai, I think, is demoted to a fine spot because that's where Mitakayumi was. Mitakayumi falling 1 full rank, that's fine. Abi moving up only 1 rank. Tobizaru staying where he is going to hurt me as a Tobizaru fan, but I feel like this right here is the most appropriate way to promote and demote as far as the Sanyaku goes. I feel like no one's records are strong enough to justify that 4th Sekiwake and that 4th Komusubi slot, which if they were, then, you know, it would look a little bit prettier on paper because all of those guys that I moved down half of a rank are suddenly back to the rank that I put them at, because now I'm going to have to scooch over every single one. And, well, like I said, it's at this point, it's all up to whatever the guys in that, you know, the room making the Banzuke feel. It's all up to whatever they're thinking in that moment. As far as Juryo goes, 99% chance we're going to have like Dai Shouho Juryo 1 East, Shionokuni right next to him, and then hopefully Atami Fuji and Tochi Musashi can bounce back. Hopefully Enho gets a winning record this time. Let's see, I have Bushozan, Hokuseiho, Tohakuryu, and Keen Bozan going up. I guess the question would be, would it be Tohakuryu or Dai Shouho? Dai Shouho has that 12 and 3. Actually, let's take a quick look at that. Will it be Dai Shouho or Tohakuryu? Let's see. Juryo 6, 12 and 3. All right, I also didn't even consider Asanoyama. But a lot of people were saying that they probably don't promote Asanoyama. We do sometimes see the Dai Shouho move up. I'll put him like right here with a question mark. And then, that's something I didn't even consider, because I feel like it's going to be Bushozan, Hokuseiho, Kinbozan. Is that last spot Tohakuryu, Dai Shouho, or Asanoyama? Juryo 12, 14, and 1. I doubt it's happened a lot. Last time it happened was Udagawa in 59, and he was up to Juryo 3. So let's try a 13 and 2, see how far they go. Tochinoshin in, yeah, seems appropriate. Okay, don't think it's going to be Asanoyama. And then Tohakuryu 9 and 6 from Juryo 4. Let's see. Wow, as high as Maegashira 12. But it looks like it's most likely, I think, the median seems to be Juryo 1. But I think it's going to be, would it be Tohakuryu or Daishoho? Let's actually take a look at them first. Tohakuryu. For Tohakuryu, it would be his debut, whereas Daishoho is a returning top division guy. So I think that might give Daishoho the edge. We're probably going to see Tohakuryu, Chionokuni, and Asanoyama in those first like Juryo 1 and 2 slots. Shonan no Umi right below them. And now, yeah, the big questions here. We're not going to ask the Onosho over Ryuden and Ishikigi because it's definitely not going to happen. But I think the bigger question is going to be, is it going to be Daishoho or is it going to be Tohakuryu? And I think that is where I'm going to leave it because this video has almost gone for a full hour, which if you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments below who you think is going to be promoted to this top division. Is it going to be Daishoho or is it going to be Tohakuryu? Let me know in Discord what you think your Banzuke guesses are going to be. Because this, I think, is going to be my guess. I always say, oh, I'll think about changing it, but then I never do. And then I also forget to submit my guesses, which I'm not going to forget this time. Hold me to it. And as far as this video goes, this should be releasing on Saturday, the 11th, which next week I will be covering in my more fun videos. We're going to have the lower division top 10 coming at you on Wednesday. And then next weekend is going to be the Takake Show all 15 days breakdown. So we're going to be breaking down his Yusho run in those 15 days of sumo. And right after that, the next week, we're going to have the upper division top 10, the Kiribayama breakdown. And then the Banzuke is out. It's almost, I've scheduled stuff so far in advance, but the Banzuke is going to be out after the last of my content comes out, and not even the last of my content, because even going into March, we're going to have some more videos before the next division or the next tournament starts. So I hope you are enjoying all of this content that I keep bringing you between Basho. We are very, very close to becoming a YouTube partner purely through my videos alone. And that's going to be the good shit. So I hope you really enjoyed this. Please keep enjoying my videos. I will be back with more here on Leo D Sumo. And I've seen the concerns. I don't think we're going to get banned. But I do have everything on my backup external hard drive just in case. So don't you worry about that. If I do go down, I will have everything back up and running as quickly as it could be. So yep, thank you very much for watching. I hope you like my take on the Banzuke, and if you want to discuss it, I'll be in Nato Sumo's Discord. You can just start talking in the gaming chat. All right, have a good one.